the fullest ferry I've ever been on. I'm king of the ferry, I am. Well, that's definitely got an element of snazz about it, hasn't it? Very snazzy. Look at this. I think this might be the grooviest ferry I've ever been on. Groovy. Smells nice too. Doesn't smell of urine. Well, I'm all checked into the hostel and I've come out looking for somewhere to eat without success. But look at these. Spotted a couple of strange lit structures. Oh, look. You go into this one. Wow. Oh. Oops. Oh, that's me falling over. This is rather something. I don't know what it is. It's quite odd. It's quite good fun. It's just a... Well, you can see what it is. I don't need to tell you. It's art. It's a piece of art. I like arty things you can interact with. There's a great place called the... Well, it's meant to be the middle of Europe. It's an open-air sculpture park in one of the Baltic states. I don't remember which. It's fantastic. It's got all these great structures and models and art forms. You should have a look at them. Go there now. Get on a train. Naoshima, I'm in. Naoshima or Naoshima. As you can probably tell from this motion, I'm cycling. I'm on the bicycle. Oh, it's a fine beast. It's a fine beast. Ching ching. Bike hire is very cheap here. I think this cost me about what's that? 500 doodahs. £4. No, what am I saying? I'll remember in a minute and I'll tell you. £3.50 or something for the day to hire a really nice bike with derailleur gears, locks and everything. It's not even falling to bits like the ones in Burma did. It's really good. And I've come to see this peculiar pumpkin. I don't know how you define art, but I think this counts. I really like the idea of art just being part of life. So people would make these things and they're just kind of there where we live. We don't go to an actual gallery and go, oh look, there's a bit of art. So this one is a great example. Very strange little space. They call it the red pumpkin. I don't know why. It doesn't look like a pumpkin to me, and it's red and black, but that's what it looks like. Light in the floor. I must go right here at night. Oh dear. But there we have it. Oh, look at this bit on the top here. This is rather good. Look. It's the stem. Well, 10 out of 10 for that one. 10 out of 10 for that. It's great. Look at the location as well. What a wonderful spot for a bit of art like this. A mixture of the natural beauty and the not so beautiful grey concrete lumps, and this just makes it all much brighter and much more fun. Well done. 10 out of 10. Right, next. Along with my marvellous cycle, which includes, look, a map of where you go and what you do, I've just bought some things that I believe are, look, this is a melon cake, which I haven't had yet, and this drink I've got is kiwi juice and milk. I do like this milk and fruit thing they do. I do it at home sometimes, but I don't tell people. Let's go and find something else. Well, I'm riding aimlessly round and round because I want to buy a ticket for the Chi-chu museum, but the ticket office isn't open till 10. The museum isn't open till 10 either, so she sent me away. So I'm just going to ride around. Oh, blimey, that's quite a big uphill hill that was. Puff, puff, puff. Filming and video is strictly prohibited, so I'm going to have to be very cautious so I don't get my equipment confiscated. I'd hate to get my equipment confiscated in Japan. Well, I don't know what to make of that. Being modern art, we're not the biggest of bedfellows. Can you have big bedfellows? I suppose you can if you've got a big bed and big fellows to go with it. 5 minor Monets, a rather interesting installation, that Twaddle one, what's it called? Open field, the blue light with the depth perception, and that was very interesting. But the rest of it just looked like a big concrete maze, a kind of cross between a nasty hospital, a mental institution, perhaps a set for a cheesy 1970s movie, or the sort of thing George Lucas might have knocked off in a lunch hour. And walking around that cost 15 quid. Don't know, how much does it cost to get into the Tate Modern or the National Gallery or anywhere? I don't know. You decide. Why don't you write in? Right, onwards, bicycle, ride. Of rather interesting things I found. Seat of snakes. That's really something. It's actually called La Conversation. Of course. Please do not touch or climb on this thing that looks like a seat. Yeah, right, that makes sense. Rather nice heffalump here. Reminds me a little bit of the Burmese sarcophagus, but with that coloured trunk, but beyond that, it doesn't. This one's called, guess what it's called? It's called elephant! Oh, I suspect this one is called cat with hole in its back with tree growing out of hole. Oh, it's quite a strange expression for a cat, isn't it? Look at lovely feet. This one's called cut. Finally, I suspect by the same artist somehow there's a definite style at work here. This one is called camel with pots in its humps. No, it's just called camel. Just camel. So there they all are. It looks like a playground, but you mustn't touch. See if you can guess what this one's called, with its little sort of, is it a horned creature or a dog? I don't know. And this black man with no face, nice spotty tie, very colourful, lovely. Reading something in French, probably a menu that you can't afford to go in the restaurant. And this one is called, have you guessed it yet? This one's called Le Banc. Le Banc. There. Let's see if we can go and have a look at this thing down on the seafront now. The other pumpkin. Aha. Aha. I like those ones we just saw. But they were sort of functional, weren't they? I mean, the ones that weren't a seat, the snaky one that wasn't a seat, felt like a seat, and the others looked like the children should play on them. But I think I like something like this better. Check this out. Look at this. It's fantastic. It is a yellow pumpkin. What else can I tell you? It's yellow, it's got black bits. If I walk too far over there, I'm going to fall in the sea. So I'll walk around it. Have a look at these dots. Oh, it's like the sea of holes on the Yellow Submarine film, which is possibly one of the best animations of all time. Greatly underrated because, of course, it also had to be a film with Beatle music. But watch Yellow Submarine for its animation. All the best British animators who were working at the time did bits on it, and it's great. But while you're thinking about that, look at how great this is too. Get a bit nearer to the edge, careful not to fall in. This feels very friendly, like you could cuddle it. I think I will. Give it. Oh, my knee. Oh dear, doesn't want to be cuddled. There. Naoshima's yellow pumpkin. Glorious. That's marvellous. Reminds me ever so slightly of the giant pieces of fruit. As you go, now where is it? In New Zealand, where they grow the fruit. Cromwell. When you go through the town of Cromwell, or past the town of Cromwell, you see these gigantic fruits. But they're not meant to be art, they're meant to be reminding you to come and buy fruit there. But it's as valid, it's This is valid because is it about what the artist intends or what the person perceiving the art decides or gets? I think it's sugar time again. Bye, pumpkin. Come on, John. Imagine that being Japanese though, obviously. Here's another funky sculpture. I can't be bothered to go all the way over to it. I expect it's called 3 Squares, or maybe just Squares. Nobody would describe the Japanese as a tall race. They're not as tall as we are, but I'll tell you this, they're catching up. But even though they're not as tall as we are, they've made something bigger than us. They've made a waste paper bin for a giant. There it is. How tall is it? I'm not sure. But as you can see, all of the things that are in it have been made big as well, including that newspaper in English. Let's go over there. Put the bike down. Put the bike there. Don't fall. Oh God. Trying to put that there. Should have turned the camera off, shouldn't I? Now fall over, I dare you. I'll give you an indication of, get a clue how big it is, because I'll stand by it. It's probably twice as high as me. That's how tall I am, and that's how much more there is of it to go. So it's quite an impressive structure. Pop art, isn't it? Andy would be proud. And look, there's all this stuff, it's in English. What? It's a shame this one is off the beaten track. This isn't on the main road. I think it's quite witty. It's I think what it is a comment about materialism and our sense of not recycling, but having giant of in the bin. There are quite a lot of things you should never do, like slicing bacon in the nude or experimenting with the heat of your soup, testing it with your genitalia. And one of them is filming while you're on a bike, but I'm doing it because I'm on this lovely, gentle, quiet road, and it's such a nice feeling to just be gliding along. It's not too warm, it's cool today, it might even rain, but it feels great. I am really enjoying being out on a bike again. It's great. I forget how good it is. I don't do it for a long time, and then I get on when I go to a bike, and then gradually it comes back. It doesn't come back immediately, and when you get on a quiet road like this, it's just such a great way to spend time, just tootling along, ambling along in the countryside. Lovely, lovely. Then you come along this tunnel to which is a continuation of the glass steps. It's the kind of underground part. Oh, it's very wet. So these are the glass steps which lead on from the glass steps above. Underground. Oh. Yes, of course. Fantastic. Splodge. That's a torch, not a ghost. Ooh. That's two ladies now who've told me my shirt is inside out in case I didn't know it. It's very sweet of them, but they do it all with motions and things. But anyway, so far that's two today who've stopped to tell me my shirt's inside out. I thought it was more muted. Somebody actually just saw us waving, and now I'm going to. I know. Who'd have thought it?